And there's a game that has finished Chelsea 1, West Ham 1, or should I say West Ham 1, Chelsea 1. Now, this was really interesting. Well, I'll tell you what is interesting, not just a 1-1 draw. It's not a bad point for West Ham, I don't think so. At the point of recording this, it's 9 minutes past 3. By the time I've uploaded this, you're going to know a little bit more about the configuration of the Premier League and how it's going to stack up. The point I started to record it, West Ham were 15th, 20 points from 22 games. To be safe, you really want more than a point a game, but hopefully we'll get more than that anyway. What I did find interesting, the point I'm alluding to, was that it was really interesting reading the comments when I've just was doing the review, the live review with Tommy. Now, whilst I'll read comments in a build-up show, in the review, I try not to. I was trying to keep that short, and it was still half an hour. So just reading the comments, it just makes it go on for a lot longer than I needed to. But I was really surprised how divided everybody was in it. Some people were happy and thought it was a good point, and some people were not so, when I say not so happy, angry, actually. There were angry people in there, and it was really interesting to watch that. There were things that I'm pleased with the point, but there were also things that I wasn't happy about with that, certainly. It's frustrating. It is frustrating to watch David Moyes at work. It's frustrating to see us go a goal behind, to rally back. And then when we did actually put some pressure on Chelsea, it looked like they were going to fold. We scored a goal. They looked like they were going to concede more as well. When we went at them, they found it really, really hard. And there's going to be other clubs other than West Ham who probably won't sit and play it safe and play it tight. And they'll actually score goals against Chelsea. But I think by and large, I'm not disappointed with a point. I'm pleased to be in 15th. As I say, how that plays out, how that looks come lunchtime tomorrow, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But Soufal alluded to it. And when I say Soufal, he was talking about after going behind early against Newcastle. And he said it benefited us to go ahead, to go behind early because we play better, we start to attack. Now, David Moyes famously has said, because Mikel Antonio has quoted him as saying, we don't want to attack for the first 60 minutes, we want to keep it tight and then try and win the game in the last 30 minutes. I mean, that's a hell of a thing to do. It really is, to try and split anything up into thirds and then try and claw it back then. I don't care if it's a financial year in a business, you're just going to tick over for 2/3 of the year and the final third just try and meet your targets, or if it's a football match or anything else. That's a really weird thing to do. But anyway, those are his tactics. It's been put out there publicly. So yet again, we started incredibly slowly, and it was really hard to watch. Within the first minute, Thilo Kehrer had basically given Chelsea a free kick. It always seems to gift the opposition a chance very, very early in games. But I've got to say, I thought he played really, really well for the remainder of the game. And I'm pleased for him. It looks like this is his position. The right centre-back is his position in a back three. Not in a back two. The back three is not right wing-back. It's not right-back. It's actually the right-sided centre-back. And I would say the same for Ben Johnson. It looks like Ben Johnson can play either side, wide of a back, wide centre-back, left centre-back or right centre-back in a back three. And because I thought when he came on to deputise for Gerd, who went off injured after 79 minutes, 3 really good clearances, a really, really aggressive header, which was very important as well. And he nicked the ball early as well, and a very good tackle. So very well done, very well done. And actually a very creative ball. Put it back into the area to help us create, not quite a full opportunity, but a chance. An opportunity on other days we might have got a shot inside the box. So I thought I was quite pleased with that. There was a lot defensively to be pleased about. I was actually quite pleased with how we adjusted, because Joao Felix was outstanding, immense. You can't help but watch that and think, and be impressed with it. And you have to be impressed from afar, because we're no good. We wouldn't have him. He wouldn't be in our team. Even if we signed him, Moyes wouldn't know what to do with him, and he certainly wouldn't be playing in that position or be given the freedom to be allowed to do that. But I thought we eventually got to grips with what he was doing, and I thought the way the centre-backs were taking it in turns to come out and nick the ball off him was really good. I thought Rice got better as the game went on as well. Overall, it wasn't really a bad point, it has to be said. Look, Gerd was at fault for the goal. There's no doubt about that at all in my mind. Looked at it again since recording the review. He very much allocates the guy behind to Emerson because he points and then he looks at Felix. Go and watch it again. He looks at Joao Felix. Joao Felix loses him. Do you know what? He's got some credit in the bank there. I'm far less concerned about him losing his man for the goal than I am about him going off injured. That's a worry. Look, Paqueta is also a bit of a worry. And look, Souček was okay. I actually thought in the last 10, 15 minutes we saw more like the old Souček. This was interesting because it was almost as if Rice was still sitting back a little bit for the last 15 minutes and Souček was getting into goal-scoring positions from open play on occasion as well, getting in there, winning headers and whatnot. He looked like he was going to... It's hard not to like him, isn't he? He's very likeable, Souček, and it's hard not to... When he scored the goal, I mean, we all, obviously we were all delighted up until the point we saw the VAR and realised it was offside. But that was pure relief if you look at his celebration. I mean, it really was. He looked like he was going to cry at one point. I thought it was happy, pure unbridled happiness, but relief, absolute relief. It was like that rather than bit of a weird one really. But there you go. I mean, it's been cleared up at the end. It wasn't handball because it touched his knee first, apparently. And I'm only taking people in the chat's words for that. No reason to think otherwise. The Danny Ings one, I don't want to go too much on it. I need to give it a little bit of thought. And but I find it hard to see a set of circumstances where Danny Ings thrives under David Moyes. I think that's why I'm a little bit reticent and why I was sort of checking myself. But I am aware that Danny Ings is a good player. I'm just not entirely convinced that he will be for us. And unless Antonio is injured as well, and I'm hoping that he's not, because, well, we've just seemed to be picking up so many injuries, don't we? However, if he is not injured, then there's also a bit of bad news to that, which means David Moyes has hauled him off after an hour for no reason whatsoever, and he was quite effective, and Danny Ings wasn't as effective as Antonio. It'd be really interesting to see what he's going to do, Moyes, when he's got the three strikers there. But, I mean, all in all, Moyes is going to be happy, and I know, as I say, I found it interesting to see the reactions, particularly... There's always going to be people that are pleased with a draw, think it's okay, and people that are disappointed with a draw. What you don't usually see is there being such a disparity between the emotion and the reaction. So I think the people that sort of accept a draw and thought a draw, they were very much saying, okay, not great, but that's okay. That's probably a good result. That gets us up to. It was more pragmatic. I noticed the people in the chat that didn't like the draw were angry, really angry about it. And I don't think it's the draw per se. I think it's those frustrating things that I mentioned about David Moyes, how he has this reluctance to go for it. And this is the thing, he doesn't have a ton of credit in the bank. And there is a frustration there. And I understand it. I understand people's annoyance with it. I think for me, it's more annoyance than it is anger, certainly. But maybe I'm somewhere in between. I'm quite pleased with the draw. But I can't help but shift in my mind that they were actually there for the taking. And even if we hadn't have realised it at the start of the game, I do think actually at the point where we scored the equaliser, and then, I mean, they were bricking it. They really were. What annoyed me then was actually then collectively the coaching team or whatever didn't look at it and think, we can get at these guys now. That's annoying. We didn't capitalise on it. It was a case of, okay, get to half-time, now we retreat again. Rather than you'd have thought, even if you didn't know it at the start, you'd have got in at half-time and said, we can get these boys. We can get them. That should have been the messaging at half-time. They are nervous. Their manager's under pressure. Graham Potter is under pressure. He'll remain under pressure. That was a worse result for Graham Potter than it was for David Moyes. I think so. Maybe there's not a lot in it, but I certainly think so anyway. Like I say, we don't know what the results are going to yield for the remainder of the Premier League games. I look forward to, I'm going to switch the telly on now after recording this, upload this video, and have a look, see what's going on with them. I'll deal with the striker situation. I'll deal with Danny Ings, I think, tomorrow, a little bit more detail. I need to get me wrap my head around it, really. But, it's a difficult one when you see us start so slowly, so regularly as well. to see us. We have to come back. It's like we have to go a goal behind and we have to come back. And that's a hindrance. That's starting from a handicap. That is giving someone a head start, isn't it? If it was a running race, you'd consider that to be giving someone a head start and you wouldn't do it. So, yeah, interesting one. Anyway, look, it's not the end of the world, is it? You get to enjoy the rest of your weekend. That's what happens. You get the early kick-off and you get the rest of the weekend to yourself. So enjoy it. Enjoy the rest of the football. Enjoy whatever else it is you're going to be doing. Be interested to know your thoughts, as always, in the comments below. I always read the comments, as you know. So I will catch up with you very, very soon. Just one last thing. If you haven't done so, please stick a thumbs up on the video, and if you can, if when you're pressing the subscribe button, even if you're already subscribed, will you check that the bell is pressed, please? We've noticed a few things that some people have been coming back and they've been saying, I'll be getting a notification about your video a day later, which obviously news gets old in a day, doesn't it? I think if you make sure next to the subscribe button the bell is pressed, that doesn't happen. Literally just under the video on YouTube, when you look on the channel, say subscribe, there's a bell, it's a notification bell. I promise you, I won't upload in the middle of the night. Well, unless you're on the other side of the world. So I don't want you being in the land of snooze. The land of snooze. I don't want you to be snoozing and me to wake you up to find out there's me ranting about something or other. But we would really, really appreciate it if you do like and subscribe and press the ding dong bell. There you go. Right, I'll catch up with you tomorrow.